Welcome to another startup and complete car documentation. What we're looking at today is a 2019 Jeep Cherokee Latitude.
This Cherokee is painted in velvet red pearl.
On the key you have the buttons for lock, unlock, and panic. The front door panels have storage areas with bottle holders, and you have power windows, locks, and mirrors.
Cloth seats come standard in the Latitude trim, and this one features the black interior color scheme.
Both front seats are fully manually adjusted. But now that we're behind the wheel, let's go ahead and start the engine.
The Jeep Cherokee nameplate dates back to 1974. The first iteration was introduced as sort of a more sporty and adventurous two-door version of the Jeep Wagoneer, with a four-door version being introduced for '77. The iconic second generation, codenamed the XJ, was a massive departure, changing from a truck-based body-on-frame SUV to a unibody one. The XJ Cherokee was sold from 1984 all the way up until 2001, and is often regarded as one of the greatest SUVs and off-roaders of all time, renowned for both its capability and durability. It is also worth noting that in the 90s, Jeep introduced a second vehicle with the Cherokee nameplate, which is the larger Grand Cherokee, and that model went on to carve out a massive legacy of its own. For 2002, the XJ Jeep Cherokee was finally replaced by the Jeep Liberty, which was produced until 2012 over a span of 2 generations. That being said, the Liberty was actually still called the Cherokee in international markets. That now brings us to 2014, when the Jeep Cherokee name was brought back to North America after a decade-long hiatus as an all-new model to replace the Liberty. This new generation of the Jeep Cherokee was codenamed KL, and like its predecessor, uses a unibody platform. So the KL generation Jeep Cherokee debuted for model year 2014, and as of at least the 2022 model year is still in production. The KL Cherokee has been in production now for coming up on a decade, so I'm thinking a big redesign is somewhere around the corner. So this generation of Cherokee is also notable for being larger than most compact SUVs, offering a V6 engine which none of the others offer anymore, but smaller than a lot of midsize SUVs, even two-row ones like the Ford Edge. In Jeep's current lineup, the Cherokee is slotted between the full-on compact Compass and the full-on midsize Grand Cherokee. The KL generation Cherokee got its biggest update for 2019, which was a mid-cycle refresh. Said refresh updated the exterior styling with things like a new front fascia and freshened up tail lights, but most notably the Cherokee got a new engine option, a 2-liter turbo inline-four which is added to the lineup alongside the base naturally aspirated inline-four and the 3.2-liter V6. So the US market Jeep Cherokee came in the following trim levels for 2019: Latitude, Latitude Plus, Limited, the extra off-road capable Trailhawk, and the range-topping Overland. 3 different engines are offered across the range, depending on the trim level. First, you've got what this one has, a 2.4-liter naturally aspirated 4-cylinder with 180 horsepower. Then, you still have the available 3.2-liter V6 with 271 horsepower. Finally, new for 2019 is the available 2-liter turbo inline-four, with just as much horsepower as the V6, but considerably more torque. That being said, the V6 can still tow the most. The sole transmission across the lineup is a 9-speed automatic. Front-wheel drive is standard on most trims, but as you'd expect from Jeep, 4-wheel drive of some kind is also available for all trims. This Latitude has the Active Drive 1 system.
The instrument cluster houses 2 analog gauges, your tachometer and speedometer. Then digitally you have your fuel and temperature gauges and an information display, which can be gone through via these buttons on the steering wheel. It has a 4-spoke design multifunctional steering wheel. As for controls, on this side you have your information display controls, along with your hands-free phone and voice command controls. And then this side houses the cruise controls. The steering wheel is tilt and telescopic. A little bit of storage for the driver. Your headlight controls. Climate vent for the driver. Here is your high beam and turn signal stalk. And on this side is your wiper stalk. Going down the center of the interior, you have a speaker up top, along with a little storage compartment. Climate vents in the center. Got the touchscreen interface for your UConnect Infotainment system, along with your hazard switch. The infotainment system we'll go over a little bit more in a bit. Got some physical radio controls, volume, power, tuning knobs. You also got your traction control and auto start-stop toggles. Right here are your single zone climate controls. A bit of storage, USB port, aux port, and a power outlet. Right here is the select terrain dial. Got some different driving modes. Have snow, brings up a little icon on here. Sport and sand mud. Back to auto. Behind the shifter is your electronically operated parking brake. And putting it in reverse reveals a backup camera. You have 2 cup holders along with a little bit of storage. 2-tiered center console. And inside you have another power outlet and another USB port. The glove box is lockable. Both sun visors have vanity mirrors. And there are grab handles at all 4 corners. Overhead lighting. And your sunglass holder. And finally, here's a quick look at this infotainment system you get in the Latitude trim level. AM, FM. That's a radio screen right there. You have your climate controls. You have your different zones, which aren't included as buttons on here, so this completes the set of controls. Anything you might have hooked up. Or UConnect apps, so you can bring up the backup camera even if you're not in reverse. All your sound settings. We'll bring up a compass. You got your vehicle settings as well. I also want to say this touchscreen is one of the most responsive ones I've ever used. It's like instantaneous, no lag whatsoever. But now we'll go ahead and roll down the driver's window and take a look at the engine bay. The driver's window is automatic down.
This Latitude comes with these optional 17-inch 5 split-spoke alloy rims. Powering this Latitude is the Cherokee's base engine for 2019, the Tiger Shark Multi-Air 2.4-liter naturally aspirated inline-4. It's a single overhead cam 16-valve power plant with an aluminum block and head. This engine produces 180 horsepower at 6,400 RPM and 171 pound-feet of torque at 4,600 RPM. The transmission is a 9-speed automatic with a manual mode. The Cherokee in this video also has Jeep's Active Drive 1 4-wheel drive system. Running on regular unleaded with a 15.9-gallon fuel tank, EPA estimates for Cherokees equipped like this one are 21 mpg city and 29 mpg highway. It uses a McPherson strut front suspension and a multi-link rear suspension. Stopping the Cherokee are 4-wheel disc brakes with ventilated front ones. Base curb weight for 2.4-liter 4-wheel drive models rounds up to 3,900 pounds.
And the rear door panels also have storage areas like bottle holders. Got 60/40 split folding rear seats, as you can see, to help aid cargo space. On the driver's seat back, you have a storage pocket. You also have a rear set of climate vents. Coat hooks back here. You have a folding center armrest with 2 cup holders. Now, space back here, I'm about 6'1", and I did put the driver's seat where I'd have it roughly if I was driving, so it might not look like there's that much leg room, but it's actually still a really comfortable back seat. And if there's someone even just slightly shorter than me with a seat only slightly further up, I have a pretty good amount of leg room. And this is just with my circumstances. You know, you might be smaller, and even still, even though my legs are kind of up against the seat, I'm still actually pretty comfortable back here. I could still ride in this back seat on a long trip. Headroom's pretty good. I think it's a pretty comfortable back seat. Single exhaust, rear wiper.
The Cherokee can haul up to 27.6 cubic feet of cargo with the rear seats up. Fold the rear seats down and you then get 54.7 cubic feet of space.
And as you saw earlier, the fuel door is located on the passenger side. Anyhow, thanks for checking out this tour of this 2019 Jeep Cherokee. And as always, stay on the lookout for future tours.